السلام عليكم دكتورة.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا.
عافية يا دكتورة، كيف حالك؟ إن شاء الله بخير؟
الحمد لله الحمد لله.
المحاضرة بتكون مسجلة إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. Okay, that's fine.
All right. Assalamu alaikum jami'an. Hello everybody. Thank you for attending today webinar. Today we have a new guest speaker with us in ITAR Group. Dr. Abir Hassan is a reader in accounting, School of Business and Creative Industry at the University of West of Scotland in the United Kingdom. She is a leading scholar in the field of corporate social responsibility and environmental management, private equity and venture capital as a source of finance for SMEs, female entrepreneurship, higher education, gender and accounting, integrated reporting, biodiversity and intention accounting. Her innovative evidence-based research has appeared in highly regarded outlets. Dr. Abir has published more than 75 articles in peer-reviewed journals and conferences. Before joining academic, Dr. Abir worked as an audit for 10 years at the National Authority of Auditing and Performance Evaluation in Egypt. Thank you so much, Dr. Abir, for accepting my invitation. Dr. Abir, you have 45 minutes to 1 hour for your presentation. After that, all the audience can ask you any question. The audience have two types to ask your question. They can type their question in Q&A below the screen, or can they raise their hand for any question, and we'll go one by one for their question.
Okay.
Please don't type any question in the chat, because the chat is keep rolling and we can't catch the question. This webinar, it will be recorded and live in YouTube. Thank you so much, and the floor is yours, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me to provide a session on the PhD developing skills for the PhD students during the PhD journey. And I will share the screen straight away to make a start. So first of all, I would really like to say that it's very important to know that beside the academic and research skills for PhD students have to develop other skills as well. So what are these other skills? Literature calls them the hidden curriculum. what hidden curriculum means, because of course, you know, the doctorate kind of degree or the PhD is a very huge and very complex undertaking, which requires a range of support beyond the academic foundation. So hidden curriculum basically means the unofficial channel or other skills that the PhD student really require to find the job later on. It might be in some other countries that the PhD student get a job while they are doing the master or doing the PhD, but still they really need to develop other skills besides the research skills and academic skills. So to explain in details, I call it personal development planning or personal development training and learning process that take place during the whole PhD journey. And it's very highly evaluated from the teacher and from practice as well. So I will tell you my story, where the story come from. The story came from when I started to act as a program leader. There's something in the chat here. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. So I started to act as a program leader for Master Finance and Accounting with CIMA at my university, University of Western Scotland, in 2015 and 2016. So basically, I developed a program to fit or to tackle two things: the academic and the professional qualification. So I had to contact, had contact with the CIMA, Chartered of Institute of Management Accountant, and communicated with them and developed all the syllabus based on the syllabus of CIMA. So with this MSc, it was basically developed based on the student after they finish the master. They get academic qualification, a master qualification, and they can go for to set one case study, the management case study. And if they pass, they can secure around 12 exemption from the Chartered Institute of Management Accounting. So of course, this was something amazing. It spent ages to develop the program. The program validated, etc., etc., and then the program started. So of course, I wanted to make sure that that all the students will pass and succeed, and the pass rate will be amazing, and just to prove that the program is really worthwhile. So I was very keen to support these master students from day one. Provided some training. Of course, everything I had planned before the start of this program. I knew before the start that there are some international students who will join. So of course, because I was one of them one day, so I was really want to kind of develop some training on employability skills, on academic references, on academic writing. Invited some guest speakers from locally from where the university is, and from the industry, and from the international and talk from international office, etc., etc. Because by the end of the day, the first year for this master program was something like 80% international students and 20% home or UK students. And I wanted the pass rate to be high, and I wanted to make sure as a program leader that the program is really successful. So to add more support, at the time I was supervising PhD students, and I discussed with them, the way to support master students. And these PhD students, they already started, they were a master student before they started the PhD, of course. So they welcomed the idea, and they said, yeah, this is really very good idea. So I connected the PhD students with the master students just to help them provide, kind of informal help or informal support. It's nothing. It's not in the timetable. It's not a sort of tutorial. It's not something like that, but something like extra support or extra help. It was, as far as I remember, there was something like 30 students in this program in the first year. I asked if any one of these 30 students needs the support, and some of them said yes. So ended up with something like 20 or 20 something students. So I split these 20 something students among the PhD students. Just to help them communicating by email, meeting them in the library, meeting them in a room, and helping them, showing them the calculation, showing them how to answer theory questions, just to support them. for the international students. And then I tried more than once, to be very honest, to find a small amount of money, applied for research fund inside the school, the university, but all of them got got rejected. But I realized I saw that what I have done is really very good to present in the teaching and learning. So I presented what I have done at my university, the annual teaching and learning conference. Audience found the idea very good, amazing, and they congratulate me on creating the idea and implementing the idea without any money. So these PhD students did not get any money for doing that. Feedback from these MSc students and PhD students encouraged me, to be very honest, to implement it more and more and more. The first cohort of the MSc students, I must admit that pass rate was 100%. Sorry, pass rate was 100%. Students got, I've got 100% student satisfaction. Was amazing. PhD students found the idea amazing. They enjoyed it a lot, and they were happy to do it even voluntarily to develop their skills. So I did continue with the same idea with for the following year, used the same original PhD students and the MSc graduates to help, the new cohort of the MSc students, or acting as mentor for them. So and also again try to apply for funds inside the school or inside the business school and inside the university. There was no any fund available to do something like this. I checked with the PhD students, and I found them they were so happy to carry on and do it voluntarily. So I realized after 2 years we kind of all of a sudden it's train the trainer approach. Faced with some challenges, of course, but I was really looking for legitimate way to do it. In 2018 and 19, there was a call for Dean Fund for the business school. I submitted a proposal, and in this proposal, I suggested that I'm going to develop a system, which is through this system, the PhD researchers or PhD students will be trained to supervise undergraduate and master students. I'm not really sure, of course, about what is the situation in the country, but in UK, first-year students prepare a dissertation at the end of in their undergraduate degree. So students, of course, really help, because some students, this will be the first ever involvement in producing a dissertation. They don't know where to go, how to do it, how to start, what is the process. And looking at the academic, the full-time academic stuff, we are very busy. Sometimes we get something like 8-10 honors students or undergraduate students to supervise, along with teaching, along with admin, along with research. So, and we don't have too much allocation for for supervising honors or undergraduate students. The aim for this was to develop their employability skills to help them feel ready to move toward the lectureship for PhD. So I was really mainly wanted to support the two kind of groups. I wanted to support the PhD students, to develop how to supervise dissertation, etc., to enhance their employability and get a lectureship after they get the PhD, and at the same time enhance the pass rate for both undergraduate and master students. So the process, how did I do it? Of course, I used to have a number of undergraduate students to supervise. So I took the permission from them that there will be a PhD students in the room with me attending your meeting just for training purposes, and they all agreed. And of course, I told them that they are going to. The plan is for them to help you, but they have to attend the session with me first. So they all agreed. It started the process, inviting the PhD students, for example, with me in the supervision team meeting. And before the meeting, of course, I do a briefing. Okay, I will speak with these students about this and this and this. And the PhD student at the beginning was attending as an observer only. So just to listen what's going on, take notes, and that's it. And then I asked the PhD students to read and to provide feedback using track changes, and then submit the track changes to me to have a wee look. And then I will add my comments to the same file. And then the undergraduate or the master student get a file with kind of two sets of feedback, one from me and one from the PhD student. Of course, sometimes I look at the comments, and if I think it's genuine, I keep it. If it's not, I will remove it. Until, you know, and this process, you know, I did repeat this process for a number of weeks until I did make sure that, you know, that PhD students are really back what I really want. They are doing what they're supposed to be. They ask a genuine question. They put some kind of feedback that will help to improve the dissertation. And basically, this is the development or the start of developing the supervisory skills. So by doing this, they act as a supervisor informally. Some students, of course, sometimes when it comes to for undergraduate students, we are not expecting them to do sophisticated technical, you know, statistical technique, you know, like regression, but we really need them to do some analysis or linking things together in a kind of a very simple way. And the PhD students, you know, researchers I found them are really excellent in doing that. So sometimes I allow the PhD students later on in the process to meet with the undergraduate or a master students on their own, showing them, for example, the Excel file and how to do simple graphs or simple kind of pivot tables, and how to link things together, and how to present the results, and how to link, you know, the research aim and the objective to their results, and link this to previous literature, and not in a deep way, but in a simple way. So provided them with feedback after the meetings, etc. And one of the PhD researchers, because I picked the PhD students that I supervised, and they said, we follow your approach means my approach. We do this with them, what you have been doing with us as a supervisor, because of course, you know, they are kind of duplicate what I'm doing with them during the relationship between me as a supervisor and them as a student for the PhD journey. This has reinforced the idea that it was important to model very good practice, and that seeing a supervisor work with a student in practice was a very important way to develop the right skills. I did develop also an evaluation form for honors and for master students to evaluate the PhD students during the supervision or during the cycle. I must admit that this system of cyclical development and support was very well received by both the PhD students and the undergraduate students. This, for example, I put here the evaluation form that I created for the honor or for undergraduate and for master students to kind of, you know, put their comments. Of course, some points provided me with useful feedback regarding my dissertation, helped me feeling at ease with the supervision process, provided me with specific help in area I need to work on, enabled me to express my doubt about my research, helped me to see my own way of thinking throughout the whole process of producing my dissertation, adequately emphasized my strengths and capabilities, enabled me to brainstorm alternative approaches that I might use. More also in the evaluation form conveyed sufficient competence to enhance my trust, was open to my input and feedback about my dissertation. It challenged me to accurately perceive the thoughts and the goals of my dissertation during the process, encouraged me to be creative, provided me with suggestions to develop my research skills, and so on. Of course, at the end of that, there is a chance for opportunity for the students to write kind of some narrative, and all the narrative they have written was really, really very encouraging. One of the PhD researcher, after we finish with this process, one of the PhD students who involved in the training and supervising and teaching secured an academic job in one of the UK higher education institutions. And of course, she mentioned that she was involved in training and supervising and the rest of that, and this helped for helped in the interview, and now she moved even to another institution for a higher up lecture grade. Of course, this ended by 2019 and 2020. Of course, the Bean Fund completed. I presented, of course, the result of this into the UWS, or the University Learning and Teaching. Every single meeting I'm attending, I keep telling that we have to use PhD students and we have to develop the skills, etc. But of course, you know, the answer is, of course, we have no resources, and we try to find, you know, how to do this. And we started honestly the process of how we're supposed to develop this training and develop all these skills during the PhD journey. And then we hit with COVID. So with COVID, I am supervising a number of PhD students in accounting and in the business school. But at the same time, I am the BGR coordinator. I'm responsible for PhD students at the business school. So straight after the decision of the lockdown, of course, we know that, we didn't know what to do. We didn't know where to start, how to react, how to do even our jobs while, we are online and we're stuck at home, and we are in a lockdown basically. So I was attending some kind of training on how to lead during crisis, and I learned this quote or this sentence and implement it immediately. The sentence is speed is your best friend and the perfection is your enemy during COVID or during any crisis. So act quickly. It doesn't matter to be fantastic, but just act quickly. Do something, instead of just sitting until you find it a fantastic way of dealing with it. Just do something. So, of course, I know that some of my PhD students, or all of them, are international students who are even working, or their husband or their wife are working, and they have kids, and they have no family around, and they have lots and lots of challenges and issues while they are in doing their PhD. And I'm aware of this as a supervisor and as a kind of a BGR coordinator. So straight away, with their permission, I created a WhatsApp group for all my PhD students. Used it a platform to say hello, how are you, where are you, and just to kind of boost their kind of positive thinking, and sending them some images and sending them some flowers, and keep the communication open to them, and increase the positive thinking, and inject them with positive attitude. I must say, after we created this WhatsApp group, I felt relieved, because I was so worried about them, as it enabled me to check on them on a regular basis. And even sometimes I created it and left it for them. And they created amazingly, and they organized some kind of teams or kind of phone calls or whatever with each other without me, which is amazing. And then, of course, the comments I have got, they keep saying thank you for taking the initiative to create WhatsApp group, and it was really very good and helped us, and etc. etc. Later on, 2 weeks later, I found this WhatsApp group is not enough. I have to meet with these guys. I have to kind of make sure that they are absolutely fine. I said, okay, guys, who's in good in technology? And they said, yeah, there is one of my PhD students good in technology, and he knows how to work Zoom and etc. So straight away we arranged a meeting with him, and he showed all of us how to work. Because to be very honest, I must admit, I did not hear about Zoom before March 2020. It was my first ever time to hear about it. So he said, yeah, let's have a training session, and this is how to share the screen and switch on and switch off again, and make this one host and make this one sharing the screen, and all this stuff were brand new for everyone. It was really very helpful. Also, I contacted them again and saying, okay, that's fine. I'm happy, but I know I'm not talking about your PhD. I know you are struggling. You don't, you worry about your small family, and you worried about your big family back home. So, but we really need to think about doing something here. How about I invited them to do two things. One of them to think about what is the link of your topic to COVID, and we have done some kind of mini conference, and we kind of recorded. Each one will talk for 2 minutes. What is the link between the topic and their topics and the COVID, and how they think that the topic is really, there is a need for their research area, etc. And also I invited them to write blogs with me on their topic. I said, a blog 700 words will not take more than half an hour or even 45 minutes. Write a draft, send it to me. We can work together. And I did engage them somehow. It's not the PhD. The blog will not be included in the PhD. This mini conference will not be included in the PhD, but something to keep the rule bowling, the ball rolling. Sorry. But so that again, this during COVID and COVID extended, and this is really not enough. I really need to do something with these PhD students. And then I remembered the initiative training that I have done with them in 2018 and 19 with some of them. And I thought it's okay, it could be a supportive way and development way to occupy these PhD researcher mind with something else rather than the PhD, because of course everybody knows that working in the PhD, you really need a free mind, you really need to focus, you really need, to do nothing but 100% involved in the PhD. But at the same time, every one of these people are stressed, or kind of having some kind of mental health, and they really need to do something else. So in addition, of course, to help them enhancing their skills and share their career, I decided to involve 3 PhD students again in supervising master students in summer 2020. I did mentor them as above, because of course in this kind of program there were some PhD students that they did not attend the kind of regular or detailed training before. So I decided just to be in the loop for everything, and mentoring them on a regular basis, looking at the documentation, reviewing any kind of questionnaire, adding some comments. So I came back and provided support, etc. for them. This was again a success for the master students, who achieved good outcomes and provided excellent feedback about the professionalism and commitment and the dedication of all the PhD students. And this is one of the comments that one of the master students mentioned about her experience with the PhD students. I think it was really good to have a support from someone who have recently studied for their degree, as I feel they understand a bit more what we students are going through during this stressful time. In addition, how the simple things which are rather obvious to tutors or to lecturers can be very difficult for students to understand, especially when you do them for the first time in your life. Personally, I have a very good experience. My supervisor was a super helpful every time I sent my work, and I received feedback or helpful tips right away, which is, this is really, really very good as well. PhD students, on the other hand, reported that they found the involvement in such a kind of activity or in this kind of learning process. This is a very excellent opportunity to have in their mind, occupied by something else, rather than focusing on, the PhD and the consequences of COVID-19 and watching the news, because at some point we all just kind of, fed up of all of this. This opportunity, including marking the student work or dissertations, enhance their subject knowledge and develop their experience in reading and learning about different topics, critical thinking and analysis. And below are some examples from the PhD students who were involved in this process. So one of them mentioned the opportunity of engaging with master students helped me to interact with students virtually and respond to their requests, and feeling that I'm helping somebody else contributed to the positive thinking and well-being. Because, to be very honest, during the COVID, we had nothing to do but helping each other and supporting each other, etc. This chance helped me shaping my academic and early professional life and showed me how to transform my knowledge and expertise into skills. I believe that this opportunity sharpened my ability and helped me to move forward in my academic career. I do think that the sincere support and mentorship inspired and motivated me during the most difficult time when I needed words to encourage and sympathy. Of course, this is what has been done. So this is more kind of comments. I'm not going to read them all, but basically PhD students really appreciated and found this is something really very good from training perspective, from founding or developing some other skills rather than the teaching rather than the research and qualitative or quantitative and reading literature, etc. Because when they apply for a job, this is not only the thing that any university all over the world asks them to do. So okay, we'll stop share for a second. Sometimes it's stuck this. Okay, I think I'm here. Give me 1 second where I am. Okay, I think we finished this one. Mental health. Yeah. Okay. Yes, this is more comments. So the involvement of PhD in teaching and supervision continued. So after 2020, the summer 2020, we of course it was all over the world that teaching in 2021 will be online. And of course, we faced those with lots and lots of issues and about teaching and how to do this online, etc., etc. And the struggle still continued with PhD students that they cannot travel and they cannot, communicate with their family. So I seek some help and some support financially from the dean and from the deputy dean to find some more money to support these kind of call them associate lectures. So we give some PhD students some teaching and involve them with some supervising undergraduate and master graduate students. And to be very honest, I started to see the kind of the outcome, which is train the trainer. They are helping each other, and if someone started to supervise before, other people can join and they can help and they can work and support each other. This is something that related to supervising and teaching. I think involving the students in teaching activities or learning and teaching activities from the beginning is really very good, because this is a job that you are going to do, anyone going to do after graduation or after you get the the PhD degree. Also, another thing which is very, very, very important, I would really encourage every PhD student. Of course, take the first year to familiarize yourself with the topic, read more, finalize the teacher review, know what is going on, start to at least finalize the data collection tool, whether you are going to do quantitative, whether you are going to do qualitative, what will be the situation. Just the first year is always read and try to kind of link and start the writing. But once you start your second year in the PhD, please think about the publication. Involving in the publication process during the PhD journey is more than important. for a number of reasons. First reason is will let you check your work. So in addition to your supervisor, PhD supervisor, some other 2 or 3 expertise will read your work and they give you some feedback for free. Okay. Second thing, involving in the publication and sending your paper or your work for publication and getting some reviewer comments and engaging on how to address reviewer comments. This is a huge skill which will not come by day and night. It will only come by practice. So sometimes when you read the reviewer's sketches, oh my goodness, what the hell is that? Most up until now, everybody got rejection from kind of high-rated journals, and this is normal. Very key professors get rejections up until now. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes you get comments which is so complicated. So addressing reviewer comments, it's really very important because you have to read and sometimes you think, oh my goodness, how on earth I did not think that way? Because addressing reviewer comments will add too much value to your work or to your paper or to your PhD. Also, will make the PhD student very confident during the examination, whether it's kind of closed examination, open examination, because, for example, there are 2 experts come to examine you, but there are 3 or 4 before examined your work already. So I wouldn't say you might accept what they ask you, but you will be you trained how to answer some questions like this from some people who are not involved, in the PhD from day one, but they still read your work and they have some comments. Also, try to send some files to some academic journals, telling them that this is your PhD area. And for example, you publish this work or you do this, and you wanted to act as academic reviewer. Some academic journals now allowing PhD students to act as reviewers if it's any paper submitted that exactly related to your PhD, but you have to show that you already published in the area before acting as a reviewer. But this is something that you can look for. Involved in the publication process during the PhD journey. As I said, send some academic journal inquiries and act as a reviewer. Acting as an academic reviewer will enhance your confidence, will improve your skills addressing reviewer comments for yourself as well. Involve in the learning process. This includes teaching, acting as a module reader, responding to inquiries, students' voice, how to engage with students during student contact time, what skills you are keen for your student to develop during your course, start continue things, what do you want, with the students that you are working with, even if they are 5, 6 students. Tell them what do you want your lecturers to stop doing, start doing, continue doing. Admin role is very, 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 very important. It's very important for any academic to develop the admin role. This include the VLE page, how to navigate through the VLE page of any university, how to add an item, how to remove an item, involve even in the shadow experience lecture in academic job, in recruitment, in admission, in personal development planning, in addressing students' inquiry, in putting exam, in marking exam, in finalizing, in looking at the border marks for students, shadowing the year leader of whoever, shadow a program leader, involved in the marking process and check border lines, because sometimes after we finish with everything, when we put the marks, we have to look at the border lines. Some people, for example, either I never give anyone 59 out of 60. Either I give them 60 or I give them 58 or 57. Involve even informally in supervising undergraduate and master students. Involve informally in helping other PhD students to master students. Skilled learned if PhD students involved in all of the above, they will develop unlimited types of skills. They will develop communication skills, creativity skills, writing skills, management skills, networking skills, research skills. Of course, they will learn more about integrity when you are involved in the publication process, etc. Ethical, professionalism. You will learn the responsibility, how to meet deadlines, responding to students' inquiry, helping support each other, independence, leadership, mentoring, volunteering, well-being, behavior, interaction, lots and lots. This is, I did not talk about it in today's session. I did not talk about how to write the introduction, how to write the literature review, how to write the methodology, what is the difference between, because you are developing this anyway during the PhD journey. So the other skills are really very important. Employers now, when they put advert for a lectureship, for example, they really need everything. They really need someone who has research and publication. Of course, PhD is you can that's kind of common thing. They really need someone who's a PhD, someone who's teaching experience, someone has already publication, someone who already involved not only with a teaching experience as a leader for the module, developed the module from A to Z, involved in assessment, involved in marking, involved in this, involved in that. Have any links with the external bodies like professional, what I'm talking about here, CIMA, ACCA, anything. What is the link between you and the community as well? So think about the engagement with the community. Is your topic or your project or your publication help the community somehow, or do kind of enhance the community and society for whatever reason? I think that's me. Good luck and all the best, and I'm happy for any question. I will stop sharing the screen now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abir, for the very nice actually presentation that you encourage the PhD student in many stuff. This is we won't find it in many universities nowadays. So you encourage the student to supervise the graduate and postgraduate, which is so good for many things, like also for update their knowledge, also to know how to let's say give them some comments and advices, which will help them also in their thesis when they write. Maybe they will also it's also an opportunity for them as a reviewer in journals in the future, or in the PhD journey as well. So I really like that, Doctora, for all. And also I want to thank you actually for this, for giving them this opportunity. Not all the professors and supervisors do that, which is so good. Thank you so much. Really, this is a very good thing. For all our audience, if you have any question for Dr. Abir, you are welcome to ask her. You can raise your hand, or you can write your question in Q&A. If you have any question. Doctora, how you can help? I know you are so busy for supervised your PhD student and master student, but is there an opportunity for the audience or anyone to be a reviewer, for example, in a journal, or maybe if you can help them, for example, give them a comment in somehow a part of their PhD, or maybe an advice from you to them?
Okay. If you want to act as a reviewer, of course, the comments that when you submit your paper first, because you will never act as a reviewer before you publish yourself. Okay. So when you publish, you will get the reviewer comments with some comments about introduction, this and this. Read very carefully, because from reading them, you will learn how to write reviewer. how to review a paper. And even, of course, the first paper I reviewed, it took me ages to review because I don't know what to do. I'm just scared that I didn't review it properly. But no, once you read it, even you can discuss it with someone. Of course, when you receive the paper, you receive it anonymously with no names. So you might just try to read and put comments and leave it for days and go back and read it again and put some comments again. I helped my PhD students to act as reviewer by giving them some of my work. So, for example, some of my papers said, okay, can you read this and give me feedback? Ignore that this is mine, just kind of give me feedback. So when they came, they said, oh, yeah, this is not clear, or you need more justification on that, or the methodology is not clear, you need why you have used this or why. And I found them ready already for this. And to be very honest, involving the PhD students in the whole circle of teaching and learning, and they will pick up this skill.
I totally agree with you, Dr. Abir. Also, you remind me with something, also how to respond to the reviewer. It's another thing, which you will make this, or you will write the response actually in the end of your viva after you receive the comment of the PhD, or sorry, the external and internal examiners.
Okay.
Yeah.
To respond to the reviewer comments, I'm always kind of getting all the responses and create a new file and make it a table. For example, there is the comment and what my response. And I'm always, just try to be so nice. For example, if it's a positive comment, if the reviewer is saying, yeah, this is a very good idea, or this is a good paper, you should thank you very much for your positive comment. And then start to read and try to respond to the comment. But there is a very, very important thing here. Sometimes reviewers saying, we suggest that this might happen. You don't need to follow everything they are saying, because sometimes, for example, they might suggest something that if you read it, you need to do another paper to respond to it. So you respond, thank you very much for this. However, we have taken this, we put your comments as one of our limitations, and we say that this will be opportunity for future research. This means that you are doing two things. You are not ignoring what they have said, and you are respecting, and you are doing it as a kind of, for future research. So it does not matter what I'm saying here. Not all the comments from your viewer, you have to satisfy them 100 or 100%. Some of the comments, it's a suggestion. So it might be you say, okay, thank you very much for your suggestion, but we discuss it and we saw that this will be one of our limitations and will lead to future research. This is a response.
In the end, Dr. Abir, it's her or his work, so they know it more than anyone else. So I already, Dr. let's say, agree with you in your comment, and also if there is something misunderstanding or they have something to support, they can cite other key authors or articles, paper, and write something and put it for them, so they can so when you respond to them, not just with your word, no, also you have some citations that will support.
Absolutely. Because some reviewers, they come back with a list of papers that you have to read them to put them in the paper again. Of course, show them in the response so that you have read all of the list of this paper and more, just to kind of make them happy. And that's all.
Dr. Abir, what is the golden advice for the PhD student?
Okay, golden advice for the PhD students: don't work only on your own. Just try to talk to others, talk to other PhD students. It doesn't matter to be in the same area. Might be you speak with someone who's in, if you are in accounting, you speak with someone in engineering and, computing. because sometimes we have really lots of thinking in your mind, but when you take it out, you find yourself, oh yeah, I've got a point. And if you share your pain or your problems, you will find out that all the PhD students are the same as you. You are not only on that. Also, for the PhD students who are starting their PhD journey, first year is always very difficult because you keep reading and you get confused. You don't know where to start. This is good, not bad. If you read more, that means it's okay. Just go back, relax, read them again, and take your time. Not everyone finishing a PhD in 3 years. This does not mean that there are someone bad and someone good. We are all arriving, to the race in different times. But this does not mean at all that there is someone good, very good, and someone very bad. No, we are different in skills, etc., etc. So yeah.
Also, I want to add something. Also, attending seminars, webinars, also workshops, conferences as well.
Yeah.
I remember in my PhD, I don't know how many, Doctora, until I finish my PhD, maybe I attend more 20 conferences around the world.
Yeah.
I have many opportunities. I got funded from American Accounting Association, from American 2 times.
Very good.
Also,
very good.
And Canadian Accounting Association in BAFA, also maybe, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 times. Also, they will give you an opportunity as a PhD student. You have an opportunity. Don't wait. Don't wait to the opportunity to come. Go for it.
Go for it. Yeah, and
exactly.
Also attending conference and seminars and workshops will allow you to make the network. So you will know the people who are talking about the same area or are writing in the same area. You meet with expert or experienced supervisors. They might sit in your workshop listening to what you are saying, advice. So it's really very good in hundreds of thousands of ways.
Besides watching other people work, which is work the same your area. So, for example, if you work in corporate governance auditing, you will watch the people who will do the same work but in different angle.
Yeah.
So maybe they measure some variable in different things. They will open your mind for other ideas, for different stuff. You will see, oh, it's a good idea. You can contact them. Okay, you are a researcher, yes, you are right, but you don't know everything. If you think the PhD student know everything, so you can get your PhD and go home without studying. So you are here to study, to learn, to know different information, angles. So I really encourage all the students to attend webinars. Also nowadays, many seminars, no need to go out. Just open your laptop and attend virtually. From home. From home, exactly. And the fees, it's not that much. And as I said to you, they will fund it. They will fund it for free to attend it. In UK, for example, I think, I don't remember, maybe £20 or I don't know, something like this for joining the BAFA associated as a member. And annually, I don't know how many workshops, webinars, they keep doing that for free, so you can attend it. What else? They fund many students doing many stuff. Also, I remember one thing, Doctora, there is association like European Accounting Association.
Yeah.
If you are a member on this association, and you can send your thesis, not all of it, but let's say up to 10,000 words to them, and they will review it.
Okay.
Then get back to you. Yeah. One last question, Doctora. What's your advice if the student gets a harsh comment, like a negative comment? How they will reply?
For publication or for the PhD?
Both. How to respond to their supervisor or for the reviewers?
I would take it step by step. If it's from the supervisor, if your supervisor give you a harsh comment and you don't understand, you don't know how to go and address this comment, go back to your supervisor, ask the supervisor to explain to you what the supervisor really needs and how to address the comment and how to improve your work. So this is a continuous kind of work in the PhD. If it's something related to the review, just try to read it yourself and try to address it. Of course, while you are a PhD student, you are not going to write a publication on your own. So definitely your supervisor or other expert will be with you in this kind of publication. Check with them, saying that how I'm going to address this. I did not understand what they are saying. And definitely all the people who are on the paper, they will come to agreement what they really need from this kind of comment.
There's a question from Lama. Doctora, do you recommend being involved in a project not related to my research interest for the aim of building network and provide for a potential employer that I can work effectively in a team? And they put between the brackets in a systematic literature review paper, for example.
I would recommend this very highly, because sometimes if you're working in your PhD, sometimes you fed up from the PhD or get bored from the PhD. So it's really good to be involved in something else. It might be developing a research or publication in something else will give you, of course, will boost your confidence. Systematic literature review, amazing experience. I've published a number of systematic literature review, and it's really once you learned it, once you know how to do it, you can implement it even in your PhD. So I will definitely recommend you, if you have the time, of course. If you have the time, you can go, of course, and join another project. Because guess what? When you finish your PhD and you go for a job, you apply for any job in any university, because you're looking for any kind of academic job. You will never select the university. You will never select the people who are working at this university, which means these people might have a complete different research area than yours. And after spending 1 year or 2 years in this university and you are happy with them, you might find yourself collaborating with some other people in some other areas. So starting this kind of skills early, this is amazing. Go ahead.
Any other question to Dr. Abir? All right, Doctora, any last word before we end today's webinar?
No, thank you. I really must say thank you very much for inviting me. I hope you found the session useful, and if you really need anything, just let me know. I'm always, I think I've put my email on the slides. If anyone needs any kind of help or support or whatever, I'm happy to help and support the students. So drop me an email and I will try my best to help you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abir, for your wonderful webinar. Thank you for the information, the knowledge, and also for encourage the PhD student for supervising and other stuff. Also, I want to thank all who attend today webinar. Inshallah, see you next week with another guest speaker. Inshallah. Thank you again, Dr. Abir, for accepting my invitation.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
مع السلامة. See you guys. نشوفكم على خير. السلام عليكم.